Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today to showcase all of the nodes that I've gone through for difficulty 15 with the majority of the packs being activated. So I like to do this snapshot because right before I go ahead and finish to complete the last node, you can actually see the team combinations that I use as well as the respective levels for each of the characters used for respectively each node. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this helps you guys understand, how I was able to go through all of it and with the majority of the packs activated as well. So I actually ended up getting close to 1.6 plus million in terms of run score, as you see. And again, all my packs activated equal 100. The only ones missing from this list was the 2 HP bonuses because I wanted to see if I could do it without it, and obviously you can always gauge afterwards. So starting with node 1, as you can see here, we actually used the Extreme X-Men team plus Old Man Logan. It's really important here to stress that you can actually build up Nightcrawler's ultimate ability, which you'll utilize later on. That helps immensely, especially for those brawler nodes. And it was optional to bring in Old Man Logan, but I did want to bring him in just because I'm already utilizing him in Mercs, and as well, he fits this team really, really well. You can obviously prep other ways, but this is what worked for myself. Next up here for Node 2, this is the Illuminati team, and as you can see, only Hank Pym as well as Captain Britain being geared to 19. Now, Iron Man is also an option if you don't have Captain Britain, but again, I'm going to link my video below if you guys want to see the actual gameplay, because in my opinion, Node 2 was actually the hardest node that I faced when going through the actual full run. Node 3, no brainer here with Cabal. Plus Lady Deathstrike and Apocalypse. They completely crushed this node. Absolutely no issues whatsoever, and the fact that they get the Crucible bonuses for Cabal is, honestly, icing on the cake here. Nodes 4 was very interesting because, like I said, if you prep Nightcrawler at the beginning, you can actually use his ult at the very beginning here, and I just love the little plug-and-play exposure value with both Val and Thanos Endgame. I decided to bring in Vulture. Black Cat's a better option, but, just bringing in a plug character like Vulture in case he goes down, then you can actually bring in Black Cat for the second node because she is the stronger option. Lady Deathstrike, absolute value across the board. Now, in terms of RNG, Mission 5 was probably the one that needed the most resets in terms of making sure that your Mercs for Money team did not die at the beginning. You're up against a Kestrel and as well as a Weaver, so obviously when they kill characters, they can prevent revive as well as making sure they don't come back, which works against the Mercs for Money team. But yeah, again, guys, I made a guide already on this video below, so you just need a reference in terms of attack order and seeing what that luck looks to be. Definitely check that out for reference. But again, this is a no-brainer. This team absolutely completely wipes the enemy waves once you get going here, but the biggest thing is making sure that you have actually the right setup at the very beginning. Node 6, full Annihilators team, work like magic. Obviously having that core 3 of Thanos Endgame, Gore, and Gladiator being part of the arena meta helps immensely. If you previously brought them into Dark Dimension 7 as well, and I actually used them in Dark Dimension 8 too, so just a value across the board. But Ultimus and Silver Surfer being lower tier levels. Actually, my Surfer I just brought up previously, but yeah, having these characters obviously higher is going to make it easier. You still have to be careful with who you attack, but this team is tuned really well for this node, and they also get their arena bonuses, which is very immense here as well. Then we go back to Mission 7 here, utilizing Global Villains, and again, exact same team. Difference is that I didn't actually use my Apocalypse Ultimate or Special in the first node, and this is where I use his full abilities. But honestly, I would say that the Global Villain nodes are probably the most easy nodes out of the entire run, just because, again, Cabal completely walks over the enemy waves. Their Crucible bonuses just are night and day from all the enemies up against, including just getting additional damage and turn meter rewind from Lady Deathstrike, and then Apocalypse ultimately is what put this team over the edge. So yeah, just value across the board, amazing team here. Next up then, we have Mission 8 here, actually utilizing the Brawler non-mythic characters again, and this one was interesting because you could choose once again to bring in Thanos Endgame. I did for myself, but yeah, obviously not as easy as the Cabal synergies with Global Villain, but definitely one of the easier sections. You still have to be mindful of the characters that you do target, but yeah, this team worked well for me. The only difference now is that Black Cat's coming in as that better slotting character over Vulture. Had absolutely no issues. And then we wrap things up with a really easy node actually right before the last and final node here. So Mercer Money, no issues whatsoever. This team just completely dominates. And again, it's the Old Man Logan show, very similar to the first node, where actually even easier because you don't actually need the right setup. You just need to make sure that obviously you have your team in a healthy spot. But Old Man Logan can actually solo this entire node himself, which is pretty crazy. But I like how they did give up an easier node here right before the showdown on node 10. And now that just basically leaves us here with mission 10, utilizing a combination here of the Annihilator or Illuminati characters, including the 3-star Captain Britain. Now, you know, when I was doing this at first, I was thinking that you can actually just use one team, but to be honest, guys, after going through it now and actually experiencing it and seeing how some of the other content creators have done it too, I don't know if one team is good enough, if I'm being honest. Annihilators, again, my Gore, Thanos Endgame, as well as Gladiator, all being geared to 19. They struggled at the very end because what happens is when you get to the final wave, Odin comes and it doesn't really matter what you do. You can't do much against him. You essentially get wiped out by him, and you would really, in essence, need an Illuminati team that can follow up and essentially get the job done 5v1. So it's really important, guys. From my experience anyways, it took me a couple of tries to kind of get it right, but you want to make sure that Odin at least uses his special on your Annihilator characters, maybe wipes out the rest of them, and then bring in the Illuminati team to actually finish him off. Mind you, it would be best case scenario if Odin actually uses his ultimate ability on the rest of your allies before you bring in your Illuminati. Otherwise, you might be chancing a bit of RNG there. But yeah, that's the only thing that I would watch out for. Otherwise, I think that's going to be kind of the difference maker of finishing up that last node and obviously competing for the leaderboard. So there you guys have it. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully these teams are a good reference for you to see what worked, what didn't. And again, these are all the packs activated with the exception of the HP, as I did want to get a sense if I can get done without it. And now that I have, I'm going to try again to see if I can go higher in the leaderboards. That's it for now, guys. Hopefully this is helpful. And again, everything's linked below if there are guides made on those specific nodes. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.